Hi everyone, what's in my makeup bag? I was going to say winter 2025, but it's never very seasonal. I don't really change the makeup according to the seasons, really. So it's not as though it's a winter look, it is just the products that I've been using recently. Let's get started, take it all off and I'll show you what I did. Bit of moisturiser, new one, Power Recovery from Dermalogica. Fun fact, my first ever blog post was about the Dermalogica Multivitamin Power Recovery Mask, which was a mask that I'd always used as a model. I still use it now. It's still one of my favourite face masks. Which is quite amazing, isn't it, considering 15 years have gone past and I was using it even before that, so probably for, I don't know, 20 years, more than 20 years. When you think about the advances that have been made in ingredients and formulas and all the different products that are out there and different brands, it's quite amazing that I still use that, isn't it? To find out why I like it so much, I am going to link to the original blog post because I think, why not? It's a little bit of blogging history for you. You can click on the link, it's in the description, and it will take you to my first ever blog post back in 2010. Anyway, all that time later, they've launched a cream, which is gorgeously rich, I have to say. This is the first time I've used it. One of the things about the Power Recovery mask was that it just always seemed to tick every box when I used it. So, you know, when you just feel dull, basically a hangover face. Although I don't really get hangover face now because I don't really get hangovers because I don't really drink very much. But then, when I was modelling, bloody hell, I mean, I was in a permanent state of hangover. Wasn't quite as drastic facially as it would be now if I had one all these years later, but it just did the trick, it did everything. Moisturised it, made it less dull, just generally felt as though it had resurfaced it, repackaged it and plonked it back onto my face. Back onto my face doesn't make any sense, but you know what I mean. Will the cream do the same as the mask? Only time will tell. I shall test it properly, I shall come back to you. Let's get on with foundation, otherwise this video is going to be very long. People are very preoccupied with what foundation I'm wearing. Whenever I put up a picture or a video that doesn't tell them already what foundation I'm wearing. And I've been thinking about this a lot recently. I'm going to do a big long video on my favourite foundations. But it's such a tricky thing to choose, I think. And people that work in the industry forget that because they try every single foundation that comes onto the market and they, over the years, myself included, know how to whittle it down because we tried so many to the things that we like and don't like. And we have the luxury of being able to do that because we try everything, right? But the general consumer can't really do that. It's trial and error and they're really expensive. Lots of them are really expensive. So I think the sooner you can, I don't know, there's lots of information online, but the sooner you can nail down what it is you want from a foundation before you try loads and loads of duds, the better. And I always think it's worth, I'll talk about this more in the video, but I think it's worth having a piece of paper, writing down how you like your skin to look. Do you like that sort of featureless look where you blank it all out with a really high coverage foundation? It's very on trend. People put it on, they don't look anything like they did when they started, and they contour and they actually put different features onto it. Do you like that look? Do you want to change your canvas, or do you like your actual skin being the canvas that you lightly work with? Then you've got type of finish. Do you like a matte finish, which tends to, I always think, be heavier coverage? Sometimes they go hand in hand, don't they? Do you like a matte finish so that it looks sort of powdery? I can't really get on with that finish anymore. Or do you like a sort of fresh, dewy, glowy finish? I think once you've started to nail it down, then you can work on getting the exact shade that you need. And then you're pretty much there. You just need to, I've got to make it sound really complicated, aren't I? But you just need to work out how you like it to look, you know, how do you want to apply it? I've started using fingertips recently because I realised that I use such a small amount of product anyway. It's almost as though I create my own tinted moisturiser with it. And when you use a brush, I find that you get that airbrushed, flawless finish. But a lot of the time I'm not really sure that that's what I want or that's what I need. So I use it in the fingertips and then can build it up. What I've also found is that when you use a brush, at least half of the product just disappears into the bristles. So if you're using a really expensive foundation, it's actually really cost inefficient. And I like the fact that I can just sort of feel the skin and melt the product into the skin. And as I'm working with it, I'm not saying I'm banishing foundation brushes from my kit or my life. I just think that as I'm working with it, I can feel how it's sitting on the skin. I can feel whether it's going to move or not. And it sort of helps me decide what's going to go on over the top of it. Just feels really nice to push the product into the skin. Right, oh sorry, this is Shiseido. Kept you waiting there, didn't I? Revitalessence Skin Glow. It's gorgeous. It's this really sheeny, it's a lightweight foundation, but actually it has a bit more coverage than you would expect, considering how moisturising it is and how gorgeously sheeny it goes onto the skin. And look, with a little bit of concealer over the top, it does, oh God, this is so gorgeous. This is one of my favourite, if not the favourite, concealer. It's the Armani one. I think it's called, is it called Luminous Silk? Skin Fabric? Oh, something or other. I'll look it up and I'll let you know. It's on the bottom there, and that's, writing's too tiny for even my bionic lasered eyes. What I do quite like to do, though, once I've pushed it all in with my fingertips, take a big brush, big fluffy brush, and then I sort of whisk it over, just to buff in any excess and smooth things out. And you can see, oh, what did I have on that brush? It's given a nice little gentle glow, hasn't it? Oh, it's this Bare Minerals Warmth. Have you heard of this powder? Sort of like a bronzing powder, but not. It's a loose powder, and you can just add the tiniest bit of sun-kissedness to your face, and at the same time just set your makeup in place a bit. But it's not obvious enough to give a real bronzed effect. It's just subtle. If you like really low-key makeup, look at that. I almost would leave my base there. Not that bothered about doing much more. In fact, why don't I? Why don't I just brave it and that's it? Because I want to show you more products that are in my makeup bag, that's why. Let's do a little bit of contour stick. This is Rare Beauty, Happy Soul. And I like these sticks. I think they're really good because they're quite foolproof. And they just add that glamorous bit of shape. I've got my makeup on a metal table that's pressed against the radiator because it's freezing cold. And I've just realised that I'm melting everything, which isn't good, is it? So, a bit of the warmth, bit of bronzing stick, and then I'm just going to do a tiny little bit of blusher in this peachy colour. This is e.l.f. Camo Blush, and I need the tiniest amount. This is an absolute bargain, this product. Last time I looked, I think it was £8. Is it £8? Maybe it's a tiny bit more. And it's a liquid blush that's almost a gloss at the same time. It's so, so pretty. And I just think you need such a small amount each time that you could never use it up in your lifetime. It will outlive you, probably, unless you're much, much younger than me, which you probably are. Still on the Vive eye stick, the eye wand, in mahogany. However, I've branched out recently. I've branched out to a different shade. Here it is, Soiree from Laura Mercier, which is this really nice taupey, sort of greigey, I don't even know what you'd call it. So using that as a base and under the eye, I'm going to keep the other eye clean so you can see the difference. I then take my Vive wand in the darker shade in mahogany, and I take that on the outer corner, look. Just love these wands. It's just a really easy way to get a nice little sultry eye. Keeping it very natural, so that's all I'm going to do. But look, see, seconds that took me. And just make sure that none of the shading, the shadow, points downwards, because you don't want to drag your eye shape down. You want to lift it up. I can feel on this side that it's sort of going down a bit, so I want to add a bit more shadow there so that it cheats a little lift. Let's do the brows. But you can see that that has enlivened the eye area just by making sure that you're blending. You're just sort of faking a lifted eye area, really, using the shadow. Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Fix. This is the one in the tube. Oh, I don't know what's happened to it, but it's gone like Copydex. Do you remember Copydex when you were at school, that glue that smelt of fish? This doesn't actually smell of fish, but it's gone, it's got all the white bits in it. Oh God. That won't do, will it? Do you know, people warned me that this product would do that. They went, it goes all white and gloopy, and I said, no, mine hasn't. So there, now it has. I think it's a sort of product you need to use up within a very small amount of time. Luckily, I bought the small tube of it, the mini tube. Still, it's a bit annoying. My nail tech, Sian, who does my gels, said that she's been using the e.l.f. one that's a copy. It's not a copy, but you know, it's quite similar to the Anastasia Brow Freeze. And she actually prefers it to the Anastasia Beverly Hills one. So there you go. Who knew? So I'll have to give that a try because it's loads cheaper. This is everything. I've already got the mascara on. It's the e.l.f. I feel like I'm talking about an e.l.f. stuff a lot in this video, and it wasn't planned that way. But I have got the e.l.f. brown mascara on it. Oh, here it is. That Sally Hughes recommended. Was it Sally Hughes? I'm sure it was her. I like it. I still think that the best brown mascara in existence is Clarins Supra. It's brilliant. It's really volumizing. You can actually see the lashes, whereas I think most brown mascaras really don't do a lot. This one is good. After the Clarins, I would say this is the second best one that I've tried. Just sketching my lip line back in, because as time goes on, the lip line disappears. Your lips don't actually get smaller, the pigment goes in the lip line, so you can't really see where the edge is. Really, that is then just getting smaller, isn't it? So I suppose it's the same thing, but you can really easily sketch that back in and they look all full. Who needs fillers? Bloody hell, who needs fillers when you've got a lip liner? Not sure it probably works as well as having fillers, to be honest, but you know my feelings on it. And anything involving needles. I've got to have a blood test next week. I'm dreading that even. It's not like I'm phobic. I don't fall to pieces when I'm confronted with a needle. I just don't want to have to do it unless completely necessary. And so when I see people and they're like, yeah, I'm just going to have my needles done again, my Botox and my fillers, you know, have it done however often, I just think, oh my God, it's my idea of an absolute nightmare, I swear. You know, all power to you if you can cope with it. I'm quite happy with my little Jones Road lip liner and my Glossier coconut balm. That's what I used. The liner isn't a shade I would normally go for. I'd normally go for a pinkier shade that matches my lip tone better. But this is what I had to hand. And I do think that it's a good liner. It stays in place. This is a nude pink, this one, but it's not actually that pinky, I don't think. But yeah, does the trick. Right, that's it. I feel like I want to add something just to, you know, give you a bit more of a show. But that is genuinely what's in my makeup bag. Should we let my hair down and look a bit more together? How did you do your hair? It just fell like this. Actually, genuinely did just fall like that, didn't it? I don't think that looked too bad then, for once. I've been trying to do a middle parting because apparently it's very, very outdated to have a side parting, but it just does not look as good on me. I just need it slightly offset, just here. I mean, that is where my natural parting falls anyway, so that probably makes sense as to why I feel like it looks better. But yeah, just not sure I can do the middle parting. I'm sure I could if I really put some effort into it. Right, that's what's in my makeup bag. I'll put a list of the stuff below. Thanks for watching. It was incredibly rambly, wasn't it? I'll try and be a bit better on the next one. Get my words out properly. Any questions, leave them below, and I will see you next time.